the guiding principles for success. Whether you want to get fitter, richer, more influential, a better guitar player, or even a better sculptor, don't have to be learned from a $297 online course. If all we needed was more information, then everyone with access to Google and ChatGPT would be enjoying their days in a mansion, have abs of steel, and live happily ever after. No, the solution isn't that complex. It's much simpler than you might think. We need to get one of the most powerful forces in the universe to work for us. Yes, I really must practice my cliffhangers. This is a top 5 takeaway summary of the compound effect written by Darren Hardy, and this is the Swedish investor bringing you the best tips and tools for reaching financial freedom through stock market investing and sometimes through productivity hacks. Takeaway number 1, the compound effect. The compound effect is the principle of getting massive rewards for a series of small, smart choices. The formula for success is more or less inevitable and incredibly simple. Small, smart choices plus consistency plus time equals radical difference. You know the plane that takes off in New York lands in Stockholm instead of Moscow if the pilot shifts the heading just 2.4 degrees north. The journey didn't change much, but the end result sure did. Skip that Mars bar you have for a snack on weekdays, and you'll save some 240 calories. That may not sound like much, and your friends may not notice after the first day, but over a year, that's 63,000 calories or 8 kilos of flab. Moreover, results oftentimes come in an exponential fashion. You know, if you work 10% longer hours, you make 40% more money. That's something worth thinking about. You know Taylor Swift, the most streamed artist on Spotify in 2023, earned something like 4 times more than the 10th most streamed artist, Lana Del Rey, and she's not 4 times better, just a little bit better. The winner of the US Open in golf, Bryson DeChambeau, received roughly twice as much prize money as the number 2 guy, despite beating him by just 1 point. J.K. Rowling has earned an estimated $1 billion, twice as much as another author, Stephen King, who most would consider pretty good. So, the results are huge for applying yourself more than the competition, but interestingly enough, each step along the way doesn't feel very significant. This is the tricky part. Most people quit running by week 2 because they are still overweight or stop playing guitar because they aren't exactly Slash. We're like this miner who quits just before he hits the pot of gold. When our efforts don't give us instant gratification, we throw the compound effect right out the window. The compound effect doesn't require that you have a 180 IQ, which is good for me, or that you have a major lucky breakthrough, but it does require hard work, discipline, and commitment. So, how do we make sure that we can apply ourselves consistently over time? What we need to do is to redirect your habits from the orientation of sabotage that they might be pointing toward right now, toward success. Takeaway number 2, it's your choice. If there's one thing to remember from the book, according to the author Darren Hardy himself, it's to take 100% responsibility for making things work in your life, your business or career, your relationships, your health. What percentage of responsibility do you have in making your relationship work? 50-50 it's because there are 2 of you. It's half your responsibility and half the other person's, right? Wrong. You have power only when you're willing to give 100% with 0 expectations of getting anything in return. You cannot demand to be loved, but you can be lovable, and it will immensely improve your chances of being loved, too. You cannot demand to have many friends, but you can decide to act in a friendly manner. You cannot demand lots of views on YouTube, but you can decide to put up valuable content regularly. Believing that it's the fault of outside forces that we are where we are today, instead of cleaning up our own lives, is basic psychology 101. It's much more comfortable to blame your significant other, your parents, or even blame the weather for where you are today rather than to accept that you are the creator of your own destiny. But think about what that implies for your future. Until a person can say, deeply and honestly, I am what I am today because of the choices I made yesterday, that person cannot say, I choose otherwise. Viktor Frankl, a famous psychologist, author, and survivor of Nazi concentration camps, has a powerful passage in his book Man's Search for Meaning. We who lived in concentration camps can remember the men who walked through the huts comforting others, giving away their last piece of bread. They may have been few in number, but they offer significant proof that everything can be taken away from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. Takeaway number 3, how to fire your autopilot. I've said before that to reap the benefits of the compound effect, we need to redirect your habits from sabotage to success. Have you heard the story of the man and the horse? A man saw another quickly riding by on a horse. He shouts to him, "Where are you going?" The man on the horse replies, "I don't know. Ask the horse." This is how most people go about their lives. We aren't exactly intentionally sabotaging ourselves, but we are doing something equally devastating. We are sleepwalking through life, letting autopilot make all the decisions. Sometimes your autopilot is advantageous. Maybe you brush your teeth every morning and put on your seatbelt every time you enter a car without really thinking twice. But at other times, he is dangerous. Maybe you let your morning grumpiness make interacting with you before your strong 8 a.m. coffee a complete nightmare. Tracking is Darren Hardy's go-to transformation model for everything. He tracks his expenses, what he eats, how much exercise he gets, and more. What gets measured gets managed. Just by being aware, you improve your odds of success by a ton. Takeaway number 4, swap willpower for why power. Many bad habits come from instant gratification. No willpower will be as efficient in fighting your urges as connecting choices to your dreams and desires. You've got to want it deeply. Peel the onion to find your real reason behind your goals and let it drive you. Takeaway number 5, 3 influences. You have power over your choices, but don't underestimate outside forces. Surround yourself with positivity. Be mindful of the people you spend time with, and get rid of clutter in your life. These can all boost or ruin your momentum. The principles outlined in The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy offer a simple yet profoundly powerful framework for achieving success in any area of life. Whether your goal is to improve your fitness, financial situation, relationships, or skills, the key lies not in making drastic changes overnight, but in the consistent application of small, smart choices over time. These choices, when compounded with consistency and patience, lead to exponential results that far exceed the immediate benefits you might expect. Success, therefore, is not a single grand event, but the cumulative effect of daily habits and decisions. The first key takeaway from the compound effect is the power of small, smart choices. As Hardy illustrates, seemingly insignificant decisions, like choosing to skip a daily snack or working slightly longer hours, can have a radical impact over time. This compounding effect can turn minor efforts into major outcomes, much like how a plane making a small adjustment to its course can end up in a completely different destination. The analogy of Taylor Swift earning 4 times more than other top artists by being just a little better further emphasizes that small, consistent improvements can lead to significant advantages. However, most people struggle to stay the course when they don't see immediate rewards. This is where the concept of delayed gratification comes into play. The modern world often conditions us to expect instant results, but the true magic of success lies in persistence. that small steps don't always feel significant is a hurdle, but it's precisely these incremental efforts that lay the foundation for long-term growth. It's important to keep pushing forward, even when it feels like progress is slow or invisible. Another critical component of success, according to Hardy, is taking full responsibility for your life. This means accepting that the outcomes you experience, whether positive or negative, are the direct result of your choices. Shifting blame onto external factors like other people, circumstances, or bad luck can feel comforting, but it strips you of the power to change your future. By taking 100% responsibility for your actions, relationships, and career, you empower yourself to steer the course of your own life. Viktor Frankl's famous insight from his time in a concentration camp about the freedom to choose one's attitude underscores the profound strength that comes from owning your responses to life's challenges. Hardy also emphasizes the importance of reprogramming your habits, which often run on autopilot. Most of us go through life making decisions without fully thinking them through, letting habitual behaviors dictate our actions. While some of these habits can be helpful, others may sabotage our success. To break free from harmful patterns, Hardy recommends tracking your actions closely, whether it's monitoring your spending, exercise, or daily routines. By making the unconscious conscious, you create the awareness needed to redirect your habits toward your goals. In addition to these practical strategies, Hardy highlights the necessity of finding your why, the deeper motivation behind your goals. Willpower alone is often insufficient when faced with temptation or adversity. However, if you can connect your daily choices to a larger, emotionally charged purpose, you'll find it easier to stay committed. Whether it's the desire to be healthier for your family, more financially secure for your future, or more skilled in a craft you love, understanding your why provides the fuel needed to keep moving forward, especially when progress feels slow. Lastly, Hardy advises being mindful of the external influences that shape your momentum. The people you surround yourself with, the information you consume, and the environments you spend time in all have a significant impact on your success. As the saying goes, you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Surrounding yourself with positive influences, decluttering your life of unfinished tasks, and regularly exposing yourself to inspiration can make the difference between stagnation and continuous growth. In essence, the compound effect is a reminder that success is built on small, consistent actions taken over time. It's not about quick fixes, shortcuts, or luck. Instead, it's about owning your choices, staying patient, and making incremental improvements. Whether you want to improve your fitness, finances, or personal relationships, the principles of the compound effect provide a roadmap for turning modest efforts into extraordinary results.